It's a classic catch-22 for RBI Governor D. Subbarao. On one side, consumer inflation continues to haunt him, but at the same time, the government is towing the central bank's line, going all out to set the fiscal house in order. And just days ahead of the crucial monetary policy review, Subbarao made his intentions clear, saying that time hasn't come to change his anti-inflationary stance. Now all eyes are on the WPI inflation numbers, which will be released tomorrow.
In an address at the London School of Economics, Subbarao says that inflation above 6% would ideally call for monetary tightening. His comments, remember, come at a time when markets are taking a cautious approach, fearing that the high consumer inflation might actually have spoiled the chances of any sort of an aggressive rate cut. So, will the governor stick to the hawkish stance, or will he oblige the government by walking with Finance Minister P. Chidambaram, who is going all out to get the fiscal house in order? That is our big story tonight.
Anirudh Ghosh joins us for more on those comments from the RBI Governor. Anirudh, these comments come just a day before the inflation numbers are out to be released, and more importantly at a time when the market is gripped with some sort of a fear that the RBI may not be cutting rates so aggressively after all.
Certainly, Sandeep, it also comes just days before the RBI's monetary policy statement, and clearly, the RBI governor, as you said, did lay down the fine print, really saying that inflation above 6% would ideally warrant tough policy action. It would warrant tight monetary policy stance, and of course, in this backdrop of high inflation, in the kind of inflationary numbers we're seeing on food inflation also, it is quite a clear message that he seems to be sending out. But then, on the other hand, as you mentioned, he did, for the first time, really point out that the government has done a very good job as far as containing the fiscal deficit and containing the current account deficit is concerned. So clearly, he is publicly giving the government a pat on the back and really acknowledging all their efforts in bringing the fiscal situation back on track. So clearly, while on one hand you have the RBI governor laying down the law, talking about how inflation is a point of concern, talking about how the RBI needs to maintain its anti-inflationary stance going in to numbers that we're seeing as far as the CPI as well as the WPI inflation numbers are concerned. Clearly, they are saying that the government seems to be doing its job. It does seem in some ways that the RBI governor could be prepared really to walk the talk with the finance minister and actually oblige the government with a rate cut. Now, remember, the kind of expectation that's been building in the whole market has really been of a 25 basis point cut. A lot of people have been talking about it since the budget statement itself. So clearly, that's what the expectation has built into the market. A lot of banks also have been talking about how a 25 basis point cut would be ideal at this point of time to really kickstart the growth engine. But clearly, one will have to just wait and watch up till Tuesday for that, to kind of see what the RBI governor is going to finally do, because he seems to be at this point of time managing expectations. He's talking about how it is really tough for the RBI to kind of go ahead and do a rate cut. Clearly, if they do a rate cut, it could possibly be only to kind of give the government a heads up as far as their moves are concerned.